back again with another live. It's been a minute since I've been on. Like I put on my community post, life has been lifing. And then I had to go out of town for a birthday in my family. It was an 85th birthday. So it was a very happy occasion. Happy that it was a happy occasion. But today I am back on a Wednesday to talk about Wednesday. um, Let me bring up my notes. Okay. So, I hate when they split the season in two. Um I usually wait for the second season to come out so I can binge it all at once. But this last time I kind of forgot that they split the season in two and I started watching it. So here I am watching. I watched the first four episodes pretty much in one day. Well, no, I watched one. I watched three in one day because I had watched one another day and then three another day. So whatever. So basically, it starts off with Wednesday catching Haley Joel Osment as a serial killer. So he went from seeing ghosts to making people into them. Um, and Wednesday has been using Goody Adams, her psychic guide, using her book to hone her psychic skills, but she's been going a little bit overboard, I guess, and it's leading to black tears. Um, she's she's every time she uses her psychic ability, she cries black tears. Um, Her mother thinks she's pushing herself too hard and that she may end up like her, Morticia's sister Ophelia, who they once put in the sanitarium. I can't remember the name of it. Um, you know, but here's my thing about that. She's always using her sister as a threat, but never tells Wednesday what happened to her sister or what exactly was going on with her sister. It's kind of a weak threat if you don't know what happened. It's like, okay, something horrible happened. I don't know what it is, so it's not gonna bother me. Just don't use it feels like an empty threat, you know. Either tell her the whole backstory of what happened with your sister or leave your sister out of it. Like seriously. Um, I hate when shows only give half the information that the main star would need. Like, oh, I don't want you to end up like my sister, but I'm not going to tell you what happened to her. Girl, bye. Uh, okay. So Pugly joins Wednesday at Nevermore as a freshman, and he has electrical powers like their Uncle Fester. And he's basically used as a B story in every episode. He brings back to life his own zombie with his electrical powers. And him and Wednesday never interact, and I'm not happy with that. I don't like that because I like the Wednesday Pugsley dynamic. Like in the movies. I can't remember what it was like in the TV show. I did used to watch reruns, but that was eons ago. So I like the Pugsley Wednesday dynamic. I like, her torturing her little brother. I also like the fact that the whole reason she went to Nevermore was because somebody was, some kids were bullying Pugsley, and she set piranhas after them. Cause she's like, can't nobody torture my little brother but me. So I really wanted to see, some more like they didn't interact at all. I would have liked to see some interaction, especially since Wednesday is like this popular kid now, despite all of her efforts. I really would have liked to see. I would have liked to see how Pugsley affected that dynamic, how that dynamic affected Pugsley, her being excuse me, her being popular and him not being popular, him trying to find his way as a freshman. So they touched on it, like nobody would talk to him, but you really don't see how how being Wednesday's brother really affects him in school, in at Nevermore. So, um, du-du-du-du-du-du. So hopefully we get to see them interact more in part two, especially because it looks like their stories are merging together. But more on that later. So we have a new shady headmaster in Steve Buscemi. I do not trust this dude. For a while, I thought he was the avian or whatever you call them people. Not Evian like the water. But who is this? I can't read that. I'm sorry. Sorry. Um, but um, but I didn't trust him. I didn't like his little. I didn't like how I don't like anything about him. The way he was doing the whole pushing Wednesday to be his poster child for Outcast. Didn't like that. Didn't like how he went after the little black siren girl, saying, I'm going to take your scholarship if you don't do your siren call with these people and get us some money. That's shady, illegal, and unethical. So is he going to die or is he going to go to jail? I need to see one of these two things happen. Steve Buscemi needs to either die or go to jail. I would settle for going to jail, but I wouldn't mind if he died. Um. Okay. So. Okay. So the person that he really wants badly to donate money to the school is Morticia's mother, who we later see is played by Joanna Lumley from Absolutely Fabulous. I don't know if you guys know this show, but it's this it's from the 90s basically. It's this comedy show and she plays this basically a drunk. It's a hilarious show. Look it up. You'll love it. And she plays because I think on Absolutely Fabulous she was Patsy. Do-do-do-do. Hi, Mila. Hi, Kenna. Hi, Illusional. um, okay. So, okay, so we get to see Morticia's contentious relationship with her mother. I do not know her name, so I'm just gonna call her Joanna Lumley, with her mother Joanna Lumley. And I liked how Wednesday played them off of each other, used their contentious relationship to get what she wanted. So she got her rich grandmother to buy a cemetery so she can find out information for her little murder mystery. But I also like how Morticia wouldn't let her mother punk her when it came to how she, parented, her daughter Wednesday, and she's like, nope, I'm gonna throw this book away. You are not about to get between me and my daughter. But at the same time, I don't like the fact that she burnt the book because she was right to protect her relationship between her and her daughter. But at the same time, she has to look at why everyone else is close to her daughter but her. Her mother is close to her. The Uncle Fester is close to her. Thing is close to her. Like, everybody is close to this girl but you, because you are trying to put her in your little mold and make her to be what you want her to be instead of accepting who she is and telling her the truth. Nobody else lies to her like you do. So of course she's not going to be close to you because you lie. and I think that's one of her main issues with you, is that you lie. You hold stuff from her and you don't accept her for who she is. Like, for number one, the number one thing you need to accept is Wednesday is never going to stop ever. So you're not going to succeed in stopping her from doing something that you think is going to hurt her. Either you help her do what she's doing so she doesn't hurt herself, or you just get the hell back, because Wednesday is going to do what she's going to do. She don't care what you say. She like your whole thing is you guys are outcasts. So she does not care about conformity, especially not with her mother. Like, girl bye. Um, okay. Speaking of her family, I find it funny that Fester got himself a little lunch lady boo in the sanitarium. Um, it feels like art imitating life because so many people are falling in love with the inmates uh, lately. But the only thing is, those people are normally guards, but this time it was a lunch lady. Um, okay. Oh, back to the little siren girl. Her mother is on a run from a cult leader, so you know he's coming to Nevermore, and you know he's going to get his comeuppance. Now, with all of those students and all of their powers, death would actually be a mercy for him compared to what these students could do to him. And truthfully, I don't understand why the little girl hasn't used her siren song on the man before to get him to set her mother free. Maybe it's because she felt like her mother had the power to, she had to wait until her mother left, and then left, and she was the reason why the whole cult was raided by the FBI. So she did what she could do. But I just still think, like, I don't know, a man who could enthrall a siren is kind of dangerous. So that's going to be interesting when he does come around, because he had a siren under his control and was making her siren other people. So that's going to be interesting. Although I still believe he's going to get his comeuppance, because I mean, you he can't get away. He can't get away. Where am I? I was, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm trying to use my little notes. Oh, Wednesday has a new murder mystery to solve. Sheriff Galpin, her little last season's boyfriend's dad, who is now uh who is now fired from being the sheriff because his son was the serial killer. And he didn't know it. And his friend, who was a private detective, was killed by crows. So it's like a murder. Instead of a murder of crows, it's a murder by crows. Ooh, play on words. So apparently there's an outcast who can control birds, and they're called avians, like avian bird flu. There are a lot of fake outs in part one. Because Wednesday has a stalker. Just when you think she's about to confront her stalker, you find out that she has a second stalker. So it's not the stalker who was stalking her at the end of last season. It was one of her little stands who from Nevermore, who, just one of her little groupies. So she tries to keep the little girl away, and then she decides, you know what, you got powers that I can utilize. So she uses the little girl's powers to her advantage in her investigation. And so at the same time, you have Enid, who very clearly said, I don't want to be drugged into your mess. So, and then Wednesday has this vision that if she keeps, investigating this mystery, that Enid is going to die. So she decides, you know what, I'm keeping Enid out of it completely rather than stop doing the investigation. She's like, no, if I keep Enid out of it, Enid's not going to die. Like, she's never watched her own show before. So now, because she's utilizing the little freaky girl who she don't care about, Enid is feeling jealous that she's like, oh, but she's hanging out with this little freak. Instead of, she was like, I wouldn't mind if she talked about it to me a little. Like, I am supposed to be her best friend. So she had a little push and pull. Then there was her little push and pull with her little boyfriend. I liked her new boyfriend. He's a cute little boy. Cute little, what are they, wolves? Cute little werewolves, or whatever they're supposed to be. And the thing is, the moment she realized she didn't have, you know, feelings for the little Medusa uh snake boy, she should have told him. She should have, like, even if it was to write a letter while she was away to him, she should have told him. But this is high school, and high school kids aren't known for their maturity, so this was a learning experience for her. So she knows next time, speak up. You are not doing anyone if any favors by avoiding him and not saying, like, you don't want to see him, you don't want to be around him, you don't want to talk to him, but he's going to keep coming around until you tell him, hey, I don't want to be around you no more. I mean, you don't have to say it that mean. You just say, you know what, this is run its course, it's time we part our ways. We part ways. um do oh, okay. Um, so Wednesday's little lover boy, the other boy in her little love triangle between her and the high, they sent him to a whole nother school in a whole nother country. Like, I remember her saying, okay, season two, we're not gonna focus on the love story so much, which, people were happy about, because it did feel sort of out of place. I did a whole video on Wednesday being this unlikely femme fatale, having all these boys chasing after her, and she could care less. Like, she does not have to have a boyfriend. Of all people, she really don't. But they didn't have to send the boy to a whole nother school. They could have just been friends. This is high school. Somebody you were crazy about one year, you okay with the next year. Like, you know what? I'm cool. You could be cool on somebody the next. He could have been cool on Wednesday, and they could have been acquaintances. It would have been realistic, especially because she kept rejecting him. She rejected him for a serial killer. I think after that, he would have been cool, and it would have been okay. It would have been okay for them to go on being friends. Let me highlight that because I say that. Okay. Oh, so did I talk about this? No, I didn't. Okay, let's go back up because there's a whole bunch I didn't talk about. Okay, so Wednesday figures out who the avian is. She's somebody in the sanitarium. And she's basically the daughter of someone who was a teacher at Nevermore years ago, and he decided he was going to experiment on outcasts so he can get their powers, and he somehow managed to get their powers into his daughter and make her into an avian. Okay, so when Wednesday figures all this out at the sanitarium, chaos breaks, chaos erupts. They end up setting a whole bunch of outcasts free, and that chick, Wednesday Prime, sets the hide free. He, of course, kills her, comes after Wednesday. Pugsley Zombie was caught and taken to the sanitarium. He gets free. He kills Tandaway Newton. I did not see that. He kills the old teacher from Nevermore. I did not see that. And when he killed him, he said something to him, basically, that lets you know that he was probably one of the outcasts that guy experimented on. Because the more he kills, the more human he becomes. So now I guess he can talk now. Missed that. I don't know what I was doing, but I missed that completely. Oh, other people he killed. Anthony Michael Hall playing this Boy Scout leader on steroids. Why he was so into, like, like, we gotta camp here, we gotta do this, We got to do that. And the nigga ends up dying. It's like sometimes you should just let things go. If he would have let it go, he'd still be alive. Um, and I think the zombie also killed Enid's poor driving instructor. So Enid ain't never gonna learn how to drive thanks to Wednesday. It's Wednesday's fault. Wednesday impersonated Enid and then got her driving instructor murdered because, you know, she wasn't watching her little brother. Little brother let a zombie loose. Okay, so back to sanitarium breakout. One of the outcasts to release may be Wednesday's aunt Ophelia. We don't know. Wednesday was drawn to this woman, helped her get out, and they, you know, they were running out together when Hyde came towards Wednesday. So she told the woman to run, so she ran, and then Hyde knocks Wednesday out the window, and you know she falls on the ground. Something that should have either in real life killed or paralyzed at the very least somebody. She got blood on her face. I guarantee you in part 2 she popping up like nothing happened. She is not gonna have a single injury. And it's like there is no suspense over her being hurt because the show is called Wednesday. It's called Wednesday. She's not gonna die. so so that's it's okay. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, okay. Also, I find the music teacher suspicious. Why is she teaching music when she's supposedly this famous, you know, musician? And why is she back at Nevermore? And with part 1, so part 1 is over. We know who the killer is. The killer is on the loose, and it just it ends with a ton of questions. I have a page of questions. So basically, what's gonna happen in part 2? How are they gonna catch the killer? Will the conclusion of her case change how things are done at the sanitarium? Or how people treat outcasts, because it's all about, you know, experimenting on outcasts. And they kept all these outcasts prisoner because they faked their deaths. So, which was one of the things they found out when Wednesday had her grandmama by the cemetery for her. Okay. What will happen to Pugsley Zombie? Is he going to keep, you know, eating people's brains until he becomes like normal? Because it feels like the eating of people's brain is making him more and more human and less like a zombie. So it's like, is he going to keep eating brains until he's back to normal? And then what's going to happen? Is he going to have to continue to eat brains to live? Like, what's up with this zombie? What is going to happen with this zombie? Who else will he kill before it's all over? What's gonna happen to the little siren girl's mother and the cult leader? Like, what's and how is all of that gonna come back? Because you know it's all got to come back to Nevermore. So, and how is it gonna connect with the other storylines? Because it feels like Pugsley Zombie and Wednesday's Crow murder are coming together. It feels like the cult leader is probably going to be mixed up in that somehow. Steve Buscemi is going to be mixed up in that somehow. By the way, what will happen to Steve Buscemi? Death or jail? Death or jail? I'm happy with either. Is Enid going to die? Now, Enid is not Wednesday, but Enid is also Wednesday's best friend. I feel like she's safe. I don't think it's that type of show where nobody's safe. Enid is safe. If I turn out to be wrong. Okay, Alan Mouse pulled one over on me. Or will it be another fake out? I think she's going to be safe. I think it's going to be another fake out. Enid is not going to die. I think that Wednesday's premonition is going to be off. Like she thinks it means that Enid is going to die, but it's going to be the death of either their friendship, um, maybe the death of her relationship, the death of maybe she is going to regress as a werewolf because that's very important to her. So like it could mean so many other things than just Enid is going to die. Something horrible can happen to Enid and she could still live, and that's going to affect her relationship with Wednesday because Wednesday caused it. So, ah, just thought of something. So the person, the avian, whatever, who's the murderer who's, telling Wednesday, that she's gonna kill Enid if she keeps looking into this, they take other outcast powers. Maybe they're gonna take her werewolf powers. So blah blah blah. Um Also, is the avian is the chick, the avian chick, is that Wednesday Stalker or is it somebody else? Because I'm unclear on this. I'm unclear on who is Wednesday Stalker. Like, because like we're talking about from the end of season 1. Who is her stalker? It could be the avian chick. It still could be somebody else. I don't know. But since she's connected with Nevermore, it would make sense if it was her. But I don't know. I don't know. It's unclear. I didn't see the zombie kill Tandaway Newton and the girl's father, so maybe they said for sure that she is the stalker, and I just missed it. If I missed it and you saw it, please tell me. Okay. So, and then if the stalker isn't the avian person, is she connected to any of these stories that we're getting this season? Will we find out if that chick is Wednesday's aunt? And what happened to her? Will she come back? Will there be a confrontation between her and Morticia, or her and her mom, or all three of them? Will this improve her relationship with Morticia, or Morticia's relationship with her mom, or Morticia's relationship with Wednesday? Morticia has a bad reputation. Morticia has a bad relationship with everybody but her husband. Nobody liking that chick but her man. That's why she's all my man's, my man's, my man's, because her man's is the only one who loves her. um. Okay. Do 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 do. And then so yeah. So those are all my notes on Wednesday. On a Wednesday, I have all these questions. I had a couple of, because I like I said, I really feel the cult leader is going to come back to Nevermore. He could be integrated into these other storylines. You never know. And definitely the zombie and the murder crows people are connected. So who knows? Maybe she hooks up with the cult leader on the run. I don't know. All of that's be connected. Maybe Steve Buscemi is somehow connected with the Murder Crows people too. Because I'm sorry, he is shady, unethical. He's just wrong. He's just wrong. He's horrible. So I feel like there's more to him than just being unethical. There's something up with him. Okay. So that's all for Wednesday. By the way, I binged A Discovery of Witches in one night. Like, I started at 4 p.m. in the afternoon and I finished 10 a.m. the next day. I did not sleep. Watched Discovery of Witches. And now I'm reading the first book. So there is going to be a novel versus adaptation for that first season of A Discovery of Witches coming soon. Either a video or a live. You'll see my life is kind of all over the place, so it may be a live because it's easier to just do a live, so tune in for that. And when I do lives, I'll do them on Wednesdays and Fridays, which is normally the days I would do my videos. Normally I would drop my videos on Wednesdays and Fridays, so I'm gonna do lives on Wednesdays and Fridays when there's no videos. Yay, yay. Okay. Thank you guys for coming out. I didn't see, let's see. Oh, I got 5 votes. Let's see. In the poll. Did you like Wednesday season 2 part 1? 60% is yes, 20% is and 20% is waiting on part 2 before I decide. All right, that's great. Okay. So, oh goodness, what just happened? Okay, go away, poll. It's not going away. Okay. Well, if anybody's saying any comments, I can't see it because the poll's in the way and I can't make it go away. Uh, uh, do-do-do-do-do. But that is all. See you guys next time. Thanks.